Good Thursday morning. I'm meteorologist Ted Schmidt. We're loving the sunshine. We've had some fog around in the area in the last couple of hours. Things really clearing off, though. It never really got extremely foggy. We had a couple of spots around the Med City that got down to a quarter of a mile visibility for about half an hour on the 7 o'clock hour. But now the skies are bright and blue. We're going to have abundant sunshine today, and believe it or not, we're going to reach the low 80s. Right now we are in the low 60s. Here we are just a few minutes before 9 o'clock this morning. We've been as cold as 53 today. That's almost 10 degrees below the seasonal average. And yesterday's high temperature was almost 10 degrees below the seasonal average. A little stretch of kind of fall weather. It's kind of a cool pocket of air that's been in place, and a nice break for mugginess. We've been blessed with that every so often this summer. We've had some really steamy days, but in between we've been managing to have a little respite here and there. And again, that's what we're enjoying right now, at least for the next couple of hours. By the afternoon, a little more summer-like, not extremely humid, but definitely more so than the past day and a half has been. And then we're going to see the really heavy humidity roll in for the weekend as we'll see temperatures approaching 90 once again. But right now 61, a light easterly breeze, 6 miles per hour. This is our Gwaltney Group camera from Assisi Heights, in the heart of the Med City. Beautiful imagery there. It's now, a sun-filled day on our way to about 80 degrees, and have high pressure in charge right now. Moving into the weekend, things get a little bumpier. We do have chances of thunderstorms. We have certainly a lot more humidity, and certainly a lot warmer weather in store, and only for a few days. So it looks like Friday through Sunday, basically, just that weekend time frame is kind of what we saw last weekend, at least for the early part of last weekend. Similar situation. Right now, here's a look northward. It's 61 in Rochester, 62 in Mesa City, 59 in Preston, and 59 in Winona. This is pretty cool still for this time of the morning. Dew point 59. That is definitely getting closer to the 60-degree mark. That was not evident last night or very early this morning. We're starting to see those southeast winds transporting slightly higher moisture content in the atmosphere, some slightly higher levels of mugginess back into the weather picture. Day planner today, plenty of sun throughout the day, high of 80, southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, sunset 8:43 coming up this afternoon or this evening at this point. Skies are clear for the most part. Thunderstorms to the west are kind of dying as they run into this high pressure. We eventually will see at least a small chance of some of the storms to the west moving in. Those are along an approaching warm front, and some of those may make it to the area very late tonight after midnight as high pressure moves on to the east. That warm front moves into our area, and behind that front, a quieter day tomorrow, but a lot of humidity and a lot of heat. Severe weather risk way west of us in the Dakotas and the foothills of the Rockies. Tomorrow, that severe weather risk gets a little closer, but we're going to remain dry with breezy, warm, humid weather and high temperatures in the upper 80s. That storm system in the west then comes in for Saturday as it gets closer. Some late afternoon thunderstorms, some severe weather is a possibility, and a couple of those storms. Not a really good setup for severe weather, but enough instability. We could see some large hail in some of the storms and perhaps some damaging wind gusts. Those are the primary concerns. And time frame, hard to say exactly, but it does look like a late afternoon or early evening type setup. Heavy rain could be a concern, though, going into Saturday night as that low-level jet, that low-level moisture feed really kicks in. It looks like there's a lot of moisture ahead of that approaching cold front with this system. So we're going to have a tropical amount of humidity this weekend. Dew points well into the 70s, perhaps even well into the upper 70s Saturday and Sunday. Next week, a big drop-off. So that drop-off is going to be on Monday, and then we'll see more milder weather, or more seasonable weather, but a milder outlook. That is what I'm trying to say for early next week, with temperatures closer to 80, not close to 90, and the dew point a little more tolerable. But here's future track looking at sunshine for us today. Rain chances held at bay by that high pressure. Tonight, keep an eye on the possibility of maybe a thunderstorm grazing the area. They move into the upper Mississippi Valley. That line of activity. We may be clipped by one or two of those storms around 3 or 4 in the morning. Afternoon, abundant sunshine, breezy and warm winds up to 20 miles per hour, maybe gusting just a little higher tomorrow with heavy humidity. And then it looks like we're going to be dealing with the thunderstorms increasing in coverage in the area on Saturday. So here's the outlook. Maybe a couple of storms late tonight and very early tomorrow, Friday that is. Saturday for the afternoon around 3 or 4 o'clock into the late afternoon and evening, in fact, overnight hours. And then Sunday, scattered storm chances until by 10 or 11 in the morning. And it looks like a redevelopment along that cold front after about 3 o'clock into the evening and so just after sunset. So storm chances off and on throughout the weekend, but a fair amount of sun between those storms and a lot of rich humidity. Temperatures, and depending on how much rain we end up with, or how widespread those storms are, or widely scattered those storms are, that could reduce that temperature situation. Still a lot of humidity, but it may not be 90 or 91, maybe 88, 89 degrees, and that's similar to what we've had in other cases too. 80 degrees today in Rochester, 82 Mason City, 80 in Austin, bright sunshine. Temperatures tonight 60s instead of 50s or even 40s. We had a couple of spots that got to the 40s early this morning, but that fall weather is in the rearview mirror at this point. I think we're going to warm up pretty quickly today. Light southeast breeze, 80 with plenty of sunshine today. 65 tonight, isolated storms after midnight, just a couple spots, mainly north of Rochester. So you could see something, maybe Cannon Falls, maybe Lake City or Kenyon, somewhere like that, or maybe even Pine Island, but it looks like a better chance northward in the area. 65 overnight, and then tomorrow, partly sunny, warm and humid, south winds up to 20 miles per hour, 87, but it'll feel like 90 in the afternoon. Outlook for the weekend, close to 90, chances of storms, especially Saturday afternoon and night, and then Sunday, a couple of rounds perhaps during the day, and then beyond that, not as much rain. A couple of thunderstorms may hold over into Monday, especially early. Then you get a break from active weather. It looks like we go 3 or 4 days without rain for the middle of next week. High temperatures, though, closer to 80 than to 90, which at this point is pretty typical for this time of the year. Climate average is 81, and that's more or less where we typically end up. The majority of the time. Every once in a while, you have a little shot of warmth or steamy weather, and that is also very typical too. It's all a matter of fluctuation. It all evens out. We have 70s and 90s, and 81 is the climate average. Anyway, enjoy today's sunshine. It looks like a beautiful summer day, and we will see you right back here tomorrow for TGIF. Tomorrow's Friday, and that's pretty exciting. I'll see you tomorrow.